Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. This is Akim Adriel, back with another quick lesson. Also want to give double honors and a salute to the men of like this true form. Shalom, Barakatam. I saw this video right here from MSNBC. It came out, I guess, 15 hours ago. But it goes into, how these politicians or political parties are at odds with each other and more or less acting like, your average citizens when it comes to, disagreements or, you know, difference of opinion. And that's a sign that this place, man, is being destroyed, man, by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But before I continue on, I'm gonna go ahead and let this video play.
Later. We begin tonight with the real-life confluence of a toxic stew of election denial, extremism, and political violence. It's the type of nightmare scenario that is all too real in America. Police in New Mexico arrested failed Republican legislative candidate Solomon Pena, who they say orchestrated a string of shootings targeting Democratic officials in the state. Last November, Pena lost to his Democratic opponent in a landslide by nearly 50 points, but claimed that he really lost because of so-called fraud. Apparently, he's both an election denier and a sore loser. After the election, a very stable Pena wrote on Twitter, "I dissent. I am the MAGA king." He later posted a photo of himself in MAGA gear, noting that much like Donald Trump, he never conceded. Police say Pena's anger at losing may have motivated him to mastermind the plan to conspire with and pay 4 men to carry out shootings at the Albuquerque area homes of 2 county commissioners and 2 state legislators. Prior to the shootings, he even visited the homes of officials to dispute his loss, including County Commissioner Adrienne Barboa. Thankfully, no one was hurt in the shootings. But as we've seen over and over again since 2020, this is not an aberration. It's now a philosophy for the right and MAGA Republicans. The firm belief that it's just not possible for them to lose, whether it's by 50 points or 5 million votes, backed by a threat of violence. Now, to be clear, not all Republicans who lose will shoot you, but some have no qualms implying they will in their political ads.
Salaki for the commercial.
What will you do with your newfound freedom? That's shopping made fast and easy, only in the Amazon app.
But some have no qualms implying they will in their political ads.
Madam Speaker, tear down this wall.
Join the MAGA crew. Get a rhino hunting permit. There's no bagging limit, no tagging limit, and it doesn't expire until we save our country.
In 2022, I'm going to blow away the Democrat socialist agenda.
It's become the norm on the Republican side. Photo ops with guns, pose with your entire family with rifles, even in front of your Christmas tree. And with it, an implied message that if Republicans don't get what they want, winning, they're prepared to use them. And those implied threats of violence come amid a chilling trend of real-world political violence. It's been barely 6 months since Paul Pelosi, husband of former Speaker Nancy, was attacked with a hammer by an assailant looking for the speaker. A Florida man is in prison for threatening to behead Pelosi, as well as Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. A man was arrested after he showed up with a gun at the home of Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal. And Republican Senator Susan Collins told the New York Times last year that she wouldn't be surprised if a member of either chamber were killed. It's not that there's never violence coming from the left. The 2017 congressional baseball game shooting that injured Republican Majority Leader Steve Scalise is an example. But for Republicans, the implied violence is baked into their message. In fact, just a few weeks ago, Marjorie Taylor Greene said that if she and Steve Bannon had planned January 6th, they would have been armed and won. The embrace of political violence is now almost a religion, an overt form of stochastic terrorism of political and physical thuggery inside the no longer grand old party. This is if you don't win, take action to seize power anyway, by any means necessary. Fight it in court, go after election officials, overthrow the government, storm the Capitol. An entitlement to rule with devastating consequences, even with Donald Trump in the rearview mirror. And joining me now is Bernalillo County Commissioner and Vice Chair Adrienne Barboa, who was one of the 4 people targeted by the political attacks on New Mexico. And Commissioner, thank you so much for being here. I do want to ask you how you're doing, and if you could just sort of lay out, thank you, how you're doing, and just lay out for us what happened at your home.
Yes, thank you so much. I was out Christmas shopping and came back home to my house being shot up. Literally 4 shots went through my front door and out my back window, literally through my living room where I had just only hours before been playing with my grandbaby. My daughter was visiting, getting ready for Christmas. And you know,
when you learned that go on.
I would just say, it was shocking, and I'm still shocked, and processing this attack continues to be incredibly heavy, especially knowing that women of color, elected officials are specifically being targeted. In our state, it included our now Speaker of the House, but who's also a Hispanic male Democrat.
Let me ask you this. The climate that we're seeing right now among not all, but some Republicans, and unfortunately a lot of prominent Republicans, is that they are showing a kind of sort of warlord style in their ads, posing with guns, threatening violence, the implied threat that we're armed. We just want to make sure that you know that. Do you feel that that kind of rhetoric, that kind of vibe inside the party, along with this idea that they can't lose, that if they lose, it's inherently fraud, do you feel that that contributed to what happened to you and the other elected officials?
Oh, I have no doubt about it. Election deniers have, and this movement, this vibe you're talking about is coming from our highest level of government. When they continue to make threats and violence as a regular part of public discourse, it has real impact on our democracy and obviously our lives. Like, these shots came through my front door, through my living room, and out my kitchen. Like, this was direct targeted violence that could have truly harmed and killed somebody. And so that, when we're not careful of our words as elected officials, whether you're at a local level like myself or a congressional and federal level, our words matter, and people are, we have influence. That's the point of taking elected offices, to serve. And we should be more careful of our words and what kind of, what we're promoting.
And this alleged shooter, the person who is accused and has been arrested for this crime and for orchestrating these shootings, apparently visited several of your homes, I believe including yours, in the weeks before the shooting. Had you ever spoken with him? Did he speak with you? Did he knock on your door and say, hey, I didn't really lose?
Yeah, so I serve on the county commission, and we certify elections locally. The county runs our county elections, and then the county commission certifies it. So yeah, there's about a 2-week period between elections and when we actually certify the elections. And right after the election, in that period of time, he came to my home and to the home of other commissioners. He was a bit erratic, definitely aggressive. I didn't so much feel threatened because I want to believe that our public should be able to reach their elected officials. So I just wanted to listen to him, but he had papers and he was talking about election fraud and that we must deny the election, and that is the duty of the commissioners to deny the election results.
And is the Republican Party, have they made any statements about the truth of the results of the election? Has there been an attempt from the other side to say no to anyone who doubts the results of the election? These elections were valid, they were fair.
No, they're not, at least in New Mexico. And we've had a string of election deniers coming through the commission on a regular basis, and then that has just meant that they're around every corner. They're, talking to either our county commission or our county clerk, and really trying to push that the elections are a fraud. I made a statement because we were having so much. I made a statement to them to say, I believe in same day election. I believe in the quality, integrity of our elections and our county staff. And I was worried that that might have been what triggered some of this. I was the first person, I believe, that was targeted.
Well, we wish you well. I'm glad that you're okay and that your family is okay and that you weren't harmed. And I also very much appreciate you coming on the program tonight. Bernalillo County Commissioner Adrienne Barboa, thank you so much and be well.
God. So, you heard it there. So you got these parties like what they call the Democrat, Republican, left wing, right wing, are pretty much attacking each other. And pretty much they're saying that the Republicans, which are the right wing, are the, more aggressive side. And what they're doing, threatening or boasting with, arms, shooting, so like shooting at different, political opponents, you know, and things of that nature. So that right there leads me to a couple of scriptures or precepts. I'm gonna start with the book of Second Ezra, chapter. Salakia. Second Ezra, chapter 15, and I'm gonna start at 14. And it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, and there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, so like nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So they're not regarding these people, don't regard Salakia, their kings or their princes. More or less that is a translation into or a translation into these political uh staff members. They are considered kings, more or less because they are the modern day leaders of this society. So that's what that precept is going into. Also, I'm gonna go to the book of Isaiah. Salakia. Isaiah 19. And we start at 1. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19 and 1. "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it." That's going into those nuclear missiles pretty much being unleashed in this place, being made a desolation. But I'm gonna jump to um verse 2, which is the point, and it says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians." That's the what? Democrat against the Republicans, man, the leaders. I'll repeat that again. This is the book of Isaiah 19 and 2. "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight each one against his brother, and each one against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom." And that's also going into, these different nations rising up, fighting amongst each other, which would be um, the third woe, man. You know what I'm saying? But first it says what? I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian. We know this is spiritually Egypt, Sodom and Egypt. So that's what the precept is going into, man. So these political parties, these leaders are going at each other, just as is prophesied, man. Egyptian against Egyptian, man. And then you see the Jade woman. Well, both of them women look like they could be from, they look like they could be Israel. Looks like, depends on where their father come from, but it looks like the one on the right could have been from the northern tribe, and of course the one on the left, she could have been from, the southern tribe. So they look like Israelites. But what did Yahweh Shai said? Let's go to with them also, regardless if you're from the tribe or not, man, you gonna still feel the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. No one is innocent. No one is getting away, man. Only the elect will be purged of their sins, man. But everybody else, and you can obviously tell these people are amongst the 2/3, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about those that reporter and that so-called politician. They are amongst the 2/3 if they are Israel, because what? They are in cahoots with Esau Edom in his system. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, and I'm going to start at verse 4. For the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Verse 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. So there, that precept is going to what? Hand join in hand, meaning they're not innocent, man. They're actually benefiting from Esau Edom's system because what? They're in bed with the devil, man. You know what I'm saying? Those two uh like I was saying, they was, to me, they perceived to be Israelites. You know. So these actions that are being committed, that we seen that clip pretty much illustrate, is fulfillment of prophecy, man. And we expect more of these things to happen, or this to what? Ramp up, man, or increase. You know what I'm saying? Because we already know that's what Esau Edom is good at. That's why they were showing what? The sword, man. Because that's what Esau Edom's blessed is. You know what I'm saying? That's what his blessing is, the sword, man. That's why you see those Republicans flaunting and showing off, shooting. It's like flexing his blessing, man. Let's get another precept. This is the book of same chapter 16, and let's start at verse. I'm gonna go to the point. It's the book of Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. So these people right here, they're proud, man. That's why they even got the slogan, proud to be an American. You can tell, especially by that northern tribe, if she's from, she perceived to be an Israelite. You could tell she's proud. You know what I'm saying? Even not only her, even the from the southern tribe, she's proud too, man. Because they carry the spirit of Egypt, man. Also they in bed with the devil, which Esau Edom, subclane white man. So you can tell both of those females, they proud. And the precept said when it comes to these females, man, they're gonna be trodden down. You know. So that's what Esau Edom it's like that's what the Lord has in store for Esau Edom's kingdom, man. Babylon the Great, aka America, man, is being what dismantled, man. It's a process. This place is being is it's crumbling pretty much, in front of everybody's eyes, but a lot of people are failed to realize because you got people with the spirit as business as usual. They don't think this place is going down, man. But those that are in the spirit, those that do see and know that these prophecies shall come to pass, actually are coming to pass, and know the future of Babylon and Great AK America. So I'm gonna end it off there. But before I do, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Again, this is your Akim Adrilla Zil, and Lord willing, I'll be back with another lesson. This is hope the body was edified by this presentation. But expect, and the true men of the Lord expect things like this to continue, man. We're hoping for it, man. We're praying for it because we know our salvation draws nigh. Until next time, Shalom, Barakatham, and Rabal. Shalom.